y'all? It's your favorite neighborhood cousin, your favorite alchemist, your favorite singer, your favorite healer, your favorite hope miracle dealer, okay? Your favorite lyrical line spitter, okay? Never a quitter, okay? Ancestral drip, okay? Anyway, how you guys doing? Okay, I gotta get my hair together. What's poppin'? It's your girl, the Hood Alchemist. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. It's so nice to see you. I haven't just sat down and recorded a little video like this in a while. So here we are, okay? And today, I'm gonna talk about how fasting has changed my life, okay? Fasting in general, but water fasting specifically as the gateway, you know? Drink more water, water, take a little sip, just a sip will make a nigga feel like gold. Drink more water, take a little sip. Drink more water, take a little sip. Drink more water, take a little sip, just a sip will make you feel like gold. Hey. Hey, 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 hey. So that's what we're gonna get into, okay? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, okay? If you just like my energy, okay? Make sure you hit that like button, okay? If she's giving, okay? If you're enjoying watching me, hit that like button, okay? Because it's a very simple way to support the channel and keep the flavor going, okay? And subscribe. Why not? You here. Subscribe. Thank you. So sweet. So kind. Ooh, it's gonna be a good relationship. Yes, it is. So a little bit of my backstory as far as fasting. I first learned to fast in church, growing up in a Pentecostal church. One of my first videos to really like take off on this channel is my 30-day water fasting story time. So check that video out. And shout out to all the people who have found my channel because of that. Fasting is definitely a big part of my life. And I started fasting in church when I was younger, Pentecostal, Kojic, Church of God in Christ, you know, all of that. So we was fasting. We had days of the week that we had to fast on every week, you know, and certain hours that we would fast on sometimes as well. And so that's where I was introduced to fasting. And then as I got older and as I started to learn more about my body and wellness and holistic health and how the body functions and things that I can do to support the function of my body and all the systems, I got into water fasting and intermittent fasting. Once I got into water fasting and intermittent fasting, it really opened my mind to different ways that I could utilize this same tool that I learned in, you know, a religious background as a health practice. And so now in my current and present life, I utilize fasting for spiritual purposes as well as physical and holistic purposes to help aid my body in rest and giving it the space to naturally observe its own detox process, because your body naturally detoxes. It's always wanting to push things out and to cleanse and to clear. It's just a matter of if you're giving it the space and the proper nourishment and tools while it's completing that detox process. So technically you're always detoxing, especially if you're putting life into your body. So just off rip, one of the ways that fasting and water fasting and intermittent fasting has helped me is to make me more disciplined, okay? So being able to commit to keeping up with it over these years, you know, because I started my water fasting journey in 2000 and maybe 2014, 15 I started, maybe even 2013 to be honest. You know, it's been going on almost a decade of, it's been a decade. It's been a whole decade of me fasting, y'all, and like really utilizing this tool. Wow. Okay. Okay. Actually realizing that this isn't a dream and 10 years of your life did just happen like that. So implementing this type of practice for close to 10 years, it has made me very disciplined in the way I respond to my body, in the way I give my body space to respond to food and to the things I eat. I typically don't eat most days until afternoon, and that's just by habit. And a lot of days, more often than not, I can push it until almost like 4, 5 o'clock without eating. But I'll still do things that I know are holistically sound during that time, like drinking tea and maintaining drinking water. And that's the significance of it, learning from water fasting, because in water fasting, you have to consume water. And so I learned to consume a gallon of water a day. And now that's just kind of like my standard. And even when I'm not drinking a whole gallon, I still get in a half gallon, or it's easy for me to drink water or notice when I'm not drinking water and feel it so that I can check myself. So it's just made me more disciplined in the way that I connect with my body, my digestive system, and even just being able to respond, like responding to my body and its actual needs. Just a ship will make a nigga feel like So another way that water fasting has changed and affected my life, which I kind of be on the fence about this one because I have to find balance with this one, but it has changed my desire for food and around food. And I'm a foodie, okay? And I love food, and I used to be an emotional eater. So me and food, it's just like I love when stuff tastes good. But water fasting and doing extended water fasting, like I've done a 30-day water fast, which again, if you haven't, check out that story time. I'm gonna put that up there. I've done extended water fast. And so during that time, I just learned that I didn't really need food. And I also learned to like reassociate the way that I taste food. So not allowing my feelings to be so caught up in the food experience has kind of made food, more for nourishment purposes. And not that food don't still taste good, and I can't taste when stuff tastes good. I know when it be tasting good. But my overall appetite and approach to food has changed. And I'm a person who sees myself one day like having a restaurant or eat a cafe, something like feeding people. Like feeding people is a part of my ministry in some way, and so that's really changed. The more I fasted, the more I've even just intermittent fasting, because waking up and not eating so much, or like not being able to be on the same schedule or timeline as like everybody else, or like connecting to food. Like I really do have to wait in the morning to eat, because if I immediately eat, I can feel it, and my whole day is kind of like not messed up, but my stomach, I'm just more sluggish, and I just feel heavier, and I don't really like to feel like that. So I choose not to, and then I'm aware of it now, and it's like, if you know better, then do better. So I be trying to do better. And so, food isn't always as fun anymore. Like, I mean, it's still fun, but there's moments but that's why I enjoy traveling and like other foods, and like experiencing the way other people eat food, like inviting other people into my practice, which again, that's a cultural thing. That's what indigenous people do anyway. Okay, we come together around food. So I just have to intentionally do that, and sharing it with people is something that I love cooking for people now more than I might like want to eat it all the time, So that's a real thing that's happened with over years of, practicing fasting. I am so sorry for interrupting your video, but I thought you might like to hear this, okay? And thank you for watching this video, because without you, this channel would be nothing, okay? And that's the truth, okay? You heard it from me, okay? But I thought you might want to hear this. Did you notice your girl had a Patreon? Yes, I recently launched a Patreon. Why? Because y'all told me to. Because my cousins was like, you need a Patreon. Because my kin folks was like, you need a Patreon. And after like 5 of y'all told me, I was like, you know what? Fine. I'm gonna start a Patreon. So that's what I did, y'all. That's what I did there. I started a Patreon. So you know what? You should go sign up for it. What we be doing on there, okay? It's 3 different tiers. All the tiers get my monthly zine, which is like a newsletter on crack, okay? Come with remedies, recipes, music, all types of stuff. Community highlights and spotlights, okay? It's actually really lit, okay? Okay. You know what else you get? exclusive music, exclusive videos, early releases on everything, and if you sign up for the third tier, okay, you get access to community meditations, Reiki sessions, and fasting, group detoxing, all of the things. So you know what you need to do right now? You need to keep watching this video, but you also need to sign up for my Patreon, okay? Yeah! I love you guys. Okay, so this one is obviously probably going to be a positive to most people, but after extended fasting for years, a decade, I have learned to balance my weight or learn how to regulate my weight, or even when I can feel myself gaining weight or getting bigger, I know how to like call it back in, or I know how to like eat and when to eat and how to eat. Like I can feel like just my awareness around my body is different. So I can feel when the weight is coming on, and I can feel when my stomach and my digestive system are unhappy, so it's helped me to be able to balance weight gain and to learn how to lose weight in a healthy way, okay? In a healthy way. Yes, let me slide a disclaimer in there just for that. It could be a thin line between utilizing fasting for healthy purposes and unhealthy purposes, and I say that a lot even when y'all are commenting on videos about fasting. Fasting is not just for weight gain. It is a very spiritual practice, and it can really help you reprogram your mind. It can help you reprogram your emotional self if you allow it to, and if you use it in ways that are fueling. And it can also help to align you with the energy around you in a healthy way, with the energy of the moon, of the earth, with the community's energy, when you engage in it in a healthy way, So I just want to put that out there, because we don't want to fast. And I've had that, which goes into my next point. Fasting has really helped me to have to overcome struggling with eating disorders and dysmorphia around my eating practices, having emotional eating habits as a child, going for periods of time where I would binge eat, and just eat a whole lot of stuff, and then periods of time when I just wouldn't eat anything, and I could eat, So fasting has actually helped me to regulate that, and it's the putting in a routine around eating, disconnecting feelings from eating, and making eating about it being medicine and it being nourishment to my body. That has really helped me to overcome, the battle with having food addictions, and using food as a soothing mechanism, or as because to me, in a lot of ways, food is often people's first drug, okay? Even though people don't want to get into that, okay? Food was your first crack, okay? So one thing that has obviously changed, which I've probably referenced in all of these points, is that water fasting, intermittent fasting, fasting in general has helped me to have a deeper attunement and awareness over what's happening in my body, the way my body is processing food, what my body likes and what it doesn't like, how long I need before I can eat something else, or when it's too much. My stomach size is a lot smaller, and so even when my capacity to get really, really full and really, really stuffed is still there, but it changes when I'm really like consistently fasting and consistently following structure and order around, my diet. And I'm not really strict about it, okay? Because I know some people, again, it could be a thin line. It's a thin line, okay? But I find that I have a healthy, I eat consciously and I fast consciously. So if there's a day that I wake up and I feel that I need to eat at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, then I'll eat then. But I still always break my fast with fruit. I still always make sure that I hydrate and have some tea and some herbs and invite nourishment in my body in that way before I eat, So even if I'm eating at 10 o'clock, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to eat a banana an hour before, because I know, so it's just taught me to, again, have a different awareness and a different reverence for my body and for my temple and for the process of eating, for food, for the medicine that it is, and really, I think allowing myself to cleanse and make space in my body has allowed food to better serve me as a medicine. It's more of a mutual exchange now between me and food, if that makes sense. But yes, overall, I just have more awareness and connection to my body, which leads to my final point that I want to share in this video. You know, if you like this video, if you want to hear more stuff like this, drop a comment below. Let me know. Don't be a stranger, okay? Don't be a stranger. Closed mouths don't get fed. Let me know, and I will. I'm just here to serve. Fasting on a consistent basis has made my spiritual attunement, okay? It's like just being able to be open in my body without having to run from it, you know, being able to sustain on breath alone and actually be okay and be nourished and be fed. Fasting for an extended period of time, like really committing to it and really utilizing it in my life as a tool and practice, has definitely leveled up my spiritual practice, okay? It's also leveled up my capacity to be able to release and to let go and to not hold on to energy, because I constantly am making space in myself to be open, to have to feel it, to have to move it through, to have to sit with it, to have to process it, to have to chew on it, you know? So it has no choice but to move. And also, you know, I try my best to bring in other practices and tools to also aid, because it's holistic. It's not just the one thing. You need the herbs, you need the fasting, you need the meditation, you need the detoxing, you need the laughter, you need the joy, you need the dancing, you need the creativity, you need the writing about it, you need the looking yourself in the eye, you need the forgiveness work, you need the gratitude work. Like, you need all of that. It all goes hand in hand, okay? Can't skip no corners. Saturn, okay? Can't, okay? It costs a boss, my guy, okay? So, you know, they all go hand in hand, but I have found that fasting over an extended period of time has just made it so that I be ready. It's like I stay ready, okay? Stay ready. Stay ready. Anyway, y'all, that's this video, okay? I just wanted to let y'all know how, you know, over 10 years of fasting and like including that in my spiritual practice and in my holistic wellness practice has changed my life and influenced my life and helped to shape me to who I am today, you know? And if you're interested in fasting, try it, do it. If it's something that's been calling out to you, do it. If you need some help, if you're looking for some coaching, if you're looking for some resources, tap in with your girl, okay? Email address in the description box below, okay? Okay? But yes, let me know what you think. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear how fasting has been in your life, and you know, what's your journey with fasting, whether it be water fasting, intermittent fasting, or fasting for spiritual purposes. What's that been like? Let me know. I want to hear. All right, cousin, I love you. 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 Love yourself, because you deserve that shit. And we out, yeah, yeah. Conversate with the fakes. Me no conversate with the fakes. That part, all my independent, that part. I just want the paper. All my flavor. That part, that part, that part, that part.